Okay, good evening, everyone. We're here for the Village of Airmont for the Architectural Review Committee, Tuesday, June 18th, 2024 at 7:02. And we're here for three applications. The first one is the Mikvah of South Airmont at 52 Campbell Ave. It's a proposed freestanding place of worship on a lot that's containing an existing single-family residence, which is going to be removed, and they are going to construct a freestanding place of worship with a special permit. They re-revised and updated their site plan, their narrative, application. They provided the ARC checklist, the architecturals and the renderings, which is in the packet. I believe for the applicant, we have or we had Fast Forward, Mendy from Fast Forward
Mendy.
on. And hi, I'm going to share the screen so that you're able to pull up the project for them to look at and for the public. Okay, now you have permission. So if you want to just review it and go through the sides and what they're looking at.
Yeah. Here we go. So this is a proposed house of worship at 52 Campbell Ave. It'll have approximately 75 members throughout the week and Shabbos. We are proposing 48 parking spaces in the rear. I guess I'll just flip through some of the pictures quickly. There's the parking lot in the back of the building. This is kind of an angled side view. And this is the other side, the rear over here. And this is a bird's eye view of the entire property. Are there any questions? Would they provide the specs? All the parts?
Do you have that materials board that you can pull up?
I was gonna,
Yes. So these are the parts. Spec sheets were provided for all. It's going to be a stucco side in the front. Some stone trim. You can see the stone trim. Regular, shingled roof. Wooden doors, wooden windows, sconces, and the railings on the staircases in the back. These are window wells, and here's the staircase going down to the basement.
Are there any signs proposed?
well, Ray's just gonna ask for the sign here.
No, just 52, just this.
Okay,
There's no sign of the, there's not gonna be any sign?
No.
okay.
Any questions?
Is it 48 parkings plus the 5 in the front?
No, it's 48 total. Yeah, we have the site plan here. So most of the apartments here in the back, we have 2 handicap and then 2 regular over here.
Okay.
Can you just go over the buffering because it's in a residential area?
Sure.
With
So,
that one, I think you had the bird's eye view so that they could see all that. Well, that and then the other view.
the landscape plan, yeah.
Yeah, the landscape plan and then the site plan so that everyone can see it.
So we kind of call out the property line. You can see over here we do like a border along the property lines, just so you can see where the property line is. It's kind of set back. You see we're going to be planting a row of trees all along the side over here, and the back over here, this side. Both property lines will have a full row of trees. There's also going to be a small retaining wall along the parking lot. Here, a couple more spruces thrown in the back. I mean, it's going to be very much, shielded from, the neighbors are going to be shielded. This is going to be shielded from the neighbors. Aside from that, there's a 20-foot drainage easement over here along these 3 properties, 1, 2, 3. So they'll also be, pretty distant.
Is it gonna be the PVC fence between the neighbors and the shul?
I believe we are providing, yes, a white vinyl fence along the property lines.
4 foot?
I believe. we
It's not on
proposed-
the plans, that's why.
So it's meant, it's right here, 6 foot vinyl.
Oh, 6 foot.
privacy fence.
I wasn't sure if it was 4 or 6. Okay,
I believe 4 is only in the front.
okay. Yeah,
Six.
that makes
Afterwards it
sense.
becomes 6.
6 foot in the back. Okay.
Where's that on which,
So that's
it's gonna
that's
be,
shown over here.
I see that, it's gonna be on the tree side or on the neighbor's side? It's gonna be the show's property, or the trees are
The
gonna be in
tree,
front of it or
it's
on the
gonna
back
be
of it?
no, the trees are gonna be facing the neighbors.
Okay,
The trees are
okay,
gonna be
okay.
behind the fence.
But everything is on 52 Campbell's
property.
property.
Yeah,
Okay.
everything's on the property, yeah.
Can you just show the bird's eye view again so everyone can see that? Thank you, Mindy.
So over here, we're not showing a white vinyl fence, we're showing just, clear, green, whatever, chain link fence. Just so you can get the idea of the property.
But it's going to be white.
Yeah, yeah.
White vinyl. Okay.
Oh, that has a very good advantage because of the cars, headlights going into the properties, the neighbors.
Correct, yeah, so it's definitely gonna be very well shielded from the neighbors.
Okay. Israel or Shimmy, do you have any questions?
I think it's very clear and the design very much blends into the area.
We try to give it as much of a residential feel as possible.
Israel, did you have any questions?
No,
Okay. How do you both feel about the proposal?
as we said, it has a very nice residential appeal.
Okay. So you both approve it?
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a good evening.
You too, thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
The next application is Route 59 Office LLC, 365 Route 59. For, someone is raising their hand, but there's no public comment. This is a committee meeting. It's not a board meeting. This application will be at the planning board on June 27th at 7 PM. That's where you can speak, or you can send me an email at planzone@airmont.org. If you wanted to raise anything, if you can't be at the public hearing, and I will send it to the planning board. Okay, going back, we are at Route 59 Office LLC, 365 Route 59, a proposed addition for 26,428 square feet of office space. They submitted a re-revised amended site plan, narrative application, ARC checklist, architecturals and renderings. And we have several people on for the applicant. I don't know who wants to go through the project and just show what you have on the screen.
Okay, so Shlomo here. I'm going to be presenting the project on behalf of Build.
Okay.
So the project, approximately 26,000 square feet. Most likely will be a steel structure at this point. First floor is, the lowest level is going to be parking. Second and third floor offices. The form of the building is dictated by setbacks and zoning. The height of the building is to align with the existing building on the lot, as you can see in the renderings. The materials will be featuring large glass windows with brick facade, along with aluminum panels. The materials are on the next page, so we'll pull it up. Here, these are the materials that we will likely be using. From Belden, a red brick to match the existing building. We're not trying to stick out in any way, shape, or form, so we will try to, we're going to be matching the building to the utmost possibility from what we want to do. The dark and gray aluminum panels. Yeah. Okay.
Do you have the
So as you-
different views of the different sides?
So we have here 4 different views.
Okay,
Uh,
all right.
I could pull up one more from behind the scenes
Yeah,
where
just if you
we,
could just tell them which side that they're looking at so that they're aware, please.
okay, so this side right here on the bottom left corner is heading towards north on Route 59. That's the front of the building. The top 2 images are the same view looking, I think, south. One's in the winter, one's in the summer, and then the bottom right view is a bird's eye view of the entire both buildings, the existing building on the left and the proposed building on the right.
Thank you.
Okay, just questioning about very close, if I'm not mistaken, what's the,
You want to show, you want him to pull the site plan up, Jimmy?
yes, please. Actually, I
Okay,
can see,
give me a
you know what, I
second.
can pull it up on the, I can put it on the email, 1 minute. I saw it again, I just wanted to see something, yeah.
Are you able to pull up the site plan, Shlomo?
Yes, give me a second. I'm pulling it up
Okay,
right now.
yeah, take your time. I didn't know if you had it. There we go.
Oh, you pull it. Where's 59 is there,
59's at the top.
mm-hmm.
Entrance happens here. Here's the
There's
existing building.
there's one entrance for both buildings.
Correct.
Do you want to see
Um,
the skipping page, Shimmy?
And I'm thinking, not just asking about the retaining wall as well as see, maybe we could put a little more trees in front of it so it's not so exposed to Route 59. So it gives a more, not a commercial look to it.
You mean on top of the retaining wall, right?
No, facing on the ground, that facing the, so it should be like covering the retaining wall, so it gives a more, not such a commercial look, if you notice.
You're saying right along here you want to see a couple of proposed trees or plantation.
Where were you showing? Where were you showing with them? Sorry,
Right here. Sorry.
right over there.
So on the top right image, here's the retaining wall. You would probably want to see plantation.
So it's pretty
along
close to Route
those-
59. That's what I'm saying. It's not like, how many, what's the footage? How far is it from Route 59? The wall? I'm just saying.
40 feet to the property line.
Right. And from exactly.
There's
and
a
from
there's a
Route
30-foot
59?
setback. There's a
Right.
30-foot setback, and then it starts at 40 feet plantation.
And there's a parking, and that's the parking lot.
This is parking above, yeah. It's gonna be
Yeah,
above
parking
the
lot is gonna
retaining
be
wall.
above.
This
And
is
what's
existing, and
blocking-
then we're-
what's blocking
this is
the headlights from the cars when it turns onto the parking lot, by flashing into cars passing on Route 59?
we will likely do some screening.
Okay, that's also,
Yeah, this parking lot's existing, by the way. And then the one under the building is what we're proposing. So I think there's already a fence. There's an existing fence here, a wooden fence.
wait, the
that
back,
blocks off.
there's the back of there's a current building, freestanding, there's a building right now, but there's nothing in the back at the moment.
So here, if I can, I'm gonna pull the screen up right here. So here's the existing. Right now, this is the existing retaining wall with existing parking. There's an existing wooden fence here. Blocks off between Route 59 and existing parking.
Okay.
So that retaining wall is being raised, and I guess the fence replaced.
Correct. So the retaining wall is going to be pulled back a little further. From here, this is where the existing retaining wall ends. We're going to pull it back up to this point.
How much difference is it with the elevation?
Sorry, what was that?
What's the difference in elevation from the existing? Keeping same level?
The elevation of the parking is
The
going to be
height
pretty
of-
much the same level.
Yeah, the height of
Yeah.
that retaining wall.
Yeah, the elevation of the parking is going to be at the same level of the existing parking.
Okay. Um, I don't, the retaining wall needs some little more, some coverage. It's too exposed to 59. I don't, it doesn't give it such a nice look, especially, you know what I mean, with those small trees. Plus want to see the gate. Want to see when how the cars will be parking, not going towards the headlights 59, the incoming cars. Block the view.
There's a fence in
Now
place,
there's
so we need
no
to see
current
how
building
that's
there.
going to be replaced. Right?
Sorry?
There is a fence in place now. We need to see that in the plan. How
Right.
it's going to be in the future.
Correct.
So Shimmy, you want more landscaping in the front by the retaining wall?
Yeah, it should look more
Okay.
presentable onto the street.
Did you see the whole landscape plan around and in the back? With the buffer?
And I saw that in the back.
Okay.
I see that. I see. Okay, so that's really what do you say?
Is there any changes being proposed with on the property line in the back?
Nope, no changes to.
So there's a lot of existing screening with trees and stuff.
You are adding 10 Norway spruces back there.
Yeah, so we are proposing, I think, 10 spruce trees in the back of the building. That was already part of the landscaping. Let me pull it up over here. Yeah.
What's the back going facing towards the back of the building? That's the woods. Cemetery, isn't it?
The cemetery? No,
No, isn't that no?
No, that's further down.
Oh, okay, I'm
Further
sorry.
down
I
on
understand.
59.
So this is from the back. Here's a view from the back. These are existing trees on the neighboring property. And then if we, with the proposed building, some of these trees will, obviously some of them will be, you know, you can see through some of the buildings. So we're proposing 10 spruce pine trees between the two properties.
The Mr. Papini that raised his hand, this is not public comment. It was on the agenda. It was discussed previously, this is a committee meeting. There is no public comment. If you have any comments, you can raise them at either the planning board or zoning board during the public hearing. I'm sorry.
Okay. So we have any questions? You want to see, you want them to come back with the final?
I'm sorry, what did you say? I couldn't hear you,
Uh,
Shimmy.
What is the
Asking-
changes that we want to see? Is it just a fence on top of the retaining wall and some landscaping in front of that?
Should be a final thing. It should be the final.
All right, so you want them to come back showing these proposed recommendations that you made? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and also not a wooden fence, a more presentable fence if it's going to face the street as well.
All right. All right, so a fence and landscaping by the retaining wall. Okay. Anything from you, Israel? If they're
Oh,
com-
I agree. No, but I agree to that, and
Okay.
it's
You-
actually existing, so it's obvious that there's a need for that, so it should be on the plan.
Okay, all right. Anything else that you want updated, changed, added, because I don't want to make them come more than one more time.
Is any going to be lighting, street lights facing 59, facing the parking lot? Where is it going to be?
That's the lighting plan?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I believe this is the lighting plan.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I'm looking at it now. Okay. All right.
So nothing other than those two items that you mentioned, correct?
It's the fence on top of, a presentable fence on top of the retaining wall and some landscaping in front of the retaining wall.
Right. All right, so that's everything, Shimmy, Shimmy and,
Yes.
no? Okay. All right, I'll work with the applicant on another date to return.
You-
Okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Mr. Papini, this is not a public hearing. There's no comment. You still have your hand raised. I lowered it and you raised it again. I'm sorry. You can raise your comments at the public hearing at zoning or planning board meetings. Okay. All right, so then we'll see this application again at ARC
Thank you.
at a
very-
future date. Okay. I'll send you the schedule if I didn't already, Dan.
Appreciate it.
Okay,
Good.
all right. Thank you, Shlomo.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Okay, once the screen stops sharing, I'll pull up the third applicant. Okay, and the third applicant for this evening is Yeshiva Gadol of South Muncie, 260 Saddle River Road and 15 Darby. There's an existing school with a proposed dormitory to be built on an adjacent parcel with removal of the existing single-family home. And they're going to merge the lots with a special permit required by planning board. They've submitted a revised proposed site plan, a narrative, application, the ARC checklist, architecturals and renderings. I'm not sure who is going to speak on behalf of the applicant, but you're welcome to. I don't know if it's Coleman or someone else, but you're more than welcome to start and present the
Hi,
project.
Suzanne. The architect is going to present.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, hi, Sherman Greenbaum. I apologize. My video camera is not working. I don't know why. So I'll just pull up the presentation. Okay, so the proposed dormitory, and I'm not going to speak much about the site itself, but there's a contiguous site, a property that's adjacent to the existing yeshiva building, that we're proposing building a dormitory on. The building footprint, the total building square footage is about 25,000 square feet. It's going to house 148 boys with 2 dorm counselors. We can go through the general floor plan. Pretty straightforward, standard, relatively standard dormitory. One of the oddities of the site is the slope of the property itself. So we're proposing areaways around the basement level so that we can actually get habitable dorm rooms there, and we wind up with it. So it's basically like a 2.5 story building. We come in on the ground level. We have dormitory rooms, shower rooms, bathrooms as is standard in a regular yeshiva dormitory. We're looking at 4 boys per room. Second floor, basically a repeat with some a laundry room and some area for phones and computers. And in the basement, we have our mechanical spaces, infirmary, dorm counselor areas, and more dormitory rooms. The elevation of the building was designed to match the existing building on site. I'll actually run down. I apologize for jumping through the presentation, but there is an existing yeshiva building on site. We're trying to match. We're going to be matching the brick. We're going to be matching the ephes. Obviously, as a dormitory, it has a lot more repetitive nature in the windows, but we tried as best as possible to match the buildings in material, and so it should feel more like a campus, and it should feel integrated and together. That's basically. I mean, I could go through the material board if you want. Relatively standard brick, ephes. We have
Where's the parking lot? There's no
canopies.
parking lot for the dormitory? There's no parking lot in that area?
So the yeshiva itself has a parking lot, and we'd be adding onto the yeshiva parking lot. Obviously, typically
It's not on the plans.
I'm sorry, it's not on which plans?
I didn't see it on the plans. The rendering.
Not
yeah.
on the renderings. It's
Well,
not shown in the rendering.
The parking is actually the added parking that we have is actually going to be on the yeshiva lot. That's not visible in the renderings itself. Because
I'm looking at the site plan, and I'm looking at the site plan, and the parking lot that I see is currently there. It's still there. I don't see any added parking lot onto it yet.
There's
Maybe I'm misreading.
There are a couple. If I remember correctly, we're making a drive access to the dormitory, and there are a couple of added spots behind the existing yeshiva building. I mean, typically speaking, the dormitory doesn't add parking load to the yeshiva at all. It's typically the whole point of the dormitory is that the boys should be in the yeshiva and stay there. Most people do not have their own cars. It's fairly typical that a yeshiva dormitory would not add additional parking lot. So I believe we're adding about 5 spots here to the yeshiva for the dorm counselors or for any additional maintenance that they need. But for the boys themselves, It would actually be counterintuitive to the entire purpose of the dormitory and the entire purpose of the yeshiva to actually encourage the boys to bring their cars to yeshiva.
You currently do not
so-
have a dormitory at the moment?
No.
We.
Correct, we do not.
I-
Hey, this is Mark. I'm just speaking on behalf of the school. Yeah, no, we do not have a dormitory, and currently they're busing and carpooling back and forth to the school. The existing parking lot that you identified earlier is existing, and we have currently a bunch of vacant spots that not even used in the current operation, with people sort of commuting back and forth. We added an additional 5 spots at the front of the building initially. We relocated them to where they are now because the fire access, to allow for better fire access to the front of the building. We don't anticipate having to even use those 5 spots. The boys don't drive, and the operations of the school are going to remain the same. They're eating on site. There's no additional staff. So for the most part, we expect any change, rather a reduction in traffic and or cars at school.
Where's the basketball court? I don't see no basketball court. Every yeshiva that has a dormitory has a basketball court.
So the basketball court is currently located in the parking lot where they are now, and they're gonna
And then
manage.
there's no parking lot anymore. That means if there's no basketball court, there's no parking.
No, they keep it in the center of kind of where the drive, where the garage ends over there, at the end. You know, honestly, the boys, they play around on the landscape areas around the site. They've existed there. They've been using the site from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. the last 23 years now. You know, the neighbors spoke very favorably at the meetings for the school. So I think they're doing something right.
No, but both of them are going to be hanging around there at a dormitory. That means they should be more. You know what I mean? We wanted to see where they're going to be, not on this, not, you know what I mean? Not on Darby, not on the side of the river. We want it to be, you know what I mean? More enclosed. A campus site, like you said, like you mentioned. You said the word campus site.
Yeah, so generally speaking, if the boys are in yeshiva from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., again, you know, Baruch Hashem, I personally have been involved in designing in the last 4 years over 100 moistas countrywide. And fairly typically for a moistas of this caliber and this size, most of the yeshivas are shying away from basketball courts. The boys, they don't want them involved necessarily in organized and fully organized games. There may be a hoop for, you know, as rolled out on the court, on the parking lot, you know, for use during Benas Dorim, if anything. Tossing a ball on the campus itself, that's fairly typical. It's not, you know, and I'm talking from countrywide experience. I've got this in North Miami. We got this in North Miami Beach. We have this in Chicago. I have this in Cleveland. We have this in Lakewood. We have it in Jackson.
And I'd like to add to that, Shimon, I'd like to add to that is that the driveway in the front is a one-way. They're both one-way in one direction. So it allows for parking from using the front drive. We don't anticipate any cars going to the rear drive at all, pretty much, almost ever, because there's no in and out people driving from the dormitory unless they're coming home or coming back to school, you know, once every few months. So in the event that we want to use more space, we would use some of that drive by closing that little entrance that goes to the back and then driving around the front of the building and parking in the side lot.
Yeah, again, the amount of asphalt required for the fire access lane is significant and pretty you know, like if there was
the planning board approved that the driveway.
We don't have a planning board approval yet. Yeah, I mean, we don't have that
presented, right?
It's still got to go in front of planning.
Right.
Do you have a bird's eye view of the whole site with the parking shown? The entire site?
It's on the first picture of the.
Okay.
We have the existing parking lot cut off, but as you can see, in front of the dormitory, that whole drop off, as Mark said, that's utilized twice as much. On the beginning of the session, you know, right after the holidays, and then as they leave for the holidays, that's when the cars are coming, picking up the boys at the dormitory. Otherwise, they're coming to the front of the site, you know, parents picking them up or whatever it is, carpooling. That whole back area right in front of the dormitory is a perfect spot to be able to play, and it's just the hoop, so it's not getting in the way of the fire trucks.
Got it. Thank you.
And there's ample greenery around here, like grass and area to be able to play.
Curious, the house here.
There's greenery to the back, like to the left of the dormitory. Is that on the same parcel? Seems to be a separate parcel.
Where are you asking? Hold on.
In the
That's
back.
a separate
Yeah.
part.
No, not this
think-
one.
What you,
One to the left. All the way, yeah. Because on the rendering,
you
it's
looking here or you're looking for?
uh, the triangle space right where your thing is now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a separate parcel. So maybe it could be that grass may be from that lot that we weren't rendering correctly. I apologize about that.
Okay, so that's gonna be fenced off.
I guess that would be dependent on what the neighbors, what the neighbors want, I assume. The yeshiva is working with the neighbors.
Are
So
you,
there's
Mark, do you know if there's a proposal to
About
fence it?
screening that area yet.
We actually did excuse me, extensive planting along the rear of the building to buffer for the neighbors behind there, like tall green giants, and would carry those around along that side property line. It's hard to see, but the house, the building is set back from Darby, like significant, has a long driveway.
Right.
And the other house that's adjacent to it is located pretty close to the front of their lot. So there's a very large, like, space, even some wooded area between the building and that corner lot there above. So either regardless, we would carry some of that planting around the bend there, honestly, to give privacy to us as much as to them.
My question was about the other line, like across from the 5 parking spots.
Oh, excuse me.
This triangular lot, Mark.
Yeah.
Oh, so this triangular lot is somebody who is actually a congregant with the school. So he prays there and he's participates with the school. He came in our favor to all the meetings. So he allows for that to be open. They actually allows the boys to kind of use his back property over there to play on it.
I was actually gonna ask about that guy. Okay.
Yeah, he's a friend of the family. Let's call it. So yeah, he allows us to kind of use the space, and Yeshiva kind of maintains it a little bit also
So
in the
it's not
back. Right. So if you come there, it's a nice open field right now. There's no distinguishing between the properties, even as is right now. So we're not proposing to change that at all.
That was my question. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Israel, did
Yeah,
you have any other
I'm okay with it.
comments on the other side?
There is significant screening on all other sides, yes.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I think I saw significant screening on the other sides, only the side was
Okay.
missing. Yeah.
So what's your
I'm okay.
decision on this?
I'm okay with it. It looks okay.
Okay, Shimmy, you're okay with it?
Yes.
And you are as well, Israel?
Yeah. It
Okay,
doesn't,
good.
it's not a burden on the, it's not visible from the main roads and
Right.
very contained.
Very nice,
Yes.
very nice.
Thank you.
Okay, no other questions? It's approved?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Yes.
To get an approval and a compliment from Susanna in one night, that's a little much.
Oh, come on. I don't approve
Yeah.
anything. Okay.
Thank you very
Hopefully
much.
next time
Yeah.
my camera will be working, but thank you very much. for
Okay,
meeting
thank you
everyone.
everyone for your time.
Thank
and
you.
Thank you, Shimon, for
Yeah,
showing.
thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
very
All right,
Thank you.
have a
Good
good
night.
night. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.